Hey everyone, Chris from Portland Marketing Analytics Report here. And we've been talking for a little while now about how to use recap data to design next year's programs, to engage the client around what worked and what didn't work, how to deliver good news and leverage that for future routing, and how to deal with bad news and actually turn that into a lot of success. So what I want to do is share with you some experiences that we've had of brands and agencies that have seen that success through this type of approach, this idea of how we approach the measurement of experiential marketing. And the first example I want to share with you is a ready-to-serve home frozen dinner. And they were targeting really 30-something professionals, and they had a massive experiential program, massive sampling program at retail. They were going to run for 7 months, and they were going to be in over 900 different retail locations. And as they ran, they were looking at different times a day. They had 5 different grocery store chains. They had different day parts, and they had a lot of different teams in different locations in the store working to help promote this frozen dinner brand. Now, there was a lot of pressure on the agency team to get this right. They were competing against different channels. So the brand team had a number of channels. They were doing tests across all of those channels, and they were heavily invested in retail sampling. The agency really needed to prove that retail sampling was delivering on par, if not better, than those other channels. And if they couldn't do that, then the marketing team was going to shift their spend to those channels that they could prove there was an impact. So the program executed. Portmile was assisting with the data collection, analysis, and reporting. And as we started to get into the program, we started to realize that the sampling rates, the average people engaged per hour, was roughly average for retail. They were getting it to about 17 consumers per hour. But we knew right away that their targeting was off. Because they were reaching people in the wrong age groups. So what we were able to do is we were able to look at the demographic profile of who they were reaching at different day parts to help them reorganize the part of the day that they were going to activate in. And that allowed them to align more closely with the target consumer shopping at those times a day. And when we did that, the percentage of time they were reaching that target consumer really increased exponentially. So at the end of the program, into those 7 months, we had done different checks throughout the activation, but when everything was said and done, their overall return on investment was 160.9%. So now 100% is break even, and so 160.9 is a very solid return on investment. But they had a lot of different markets, as I was saying, and they had a lot of different stores, and we looked at the different stores, looked at different markets, looked at the different ways in which teams activated inside the store, and we saw that ROI ranged from anywhere from 136 to 684%. And so by understanding those different scenarios and how that ROI was different, we were able to help identify what were the trends in those locations or with those practices that was generating those higher ROIs. And we worked with the team to promote and do more of those kinds of events so that ROI was continuously improving. Now, this ability to clearly identify those scenarios that were giving the greatest return on investment was something that the brand team really latched onto. And the retail sampling ended up expanding into a mobile tour. They went from 7 markets to 18 markets, and they continued to run that program for multiple years.